already were a channel with a thing, it automatically got converted. And people were asking, what about some question about smaller channels? Or I don't even remember, but it was like, I don't know.
All right.
I guess I need to.
Pre-show, we are on the air.
I guess we need to.
Hold on 1 second, BRB.
Okay. Are you running a Twitch stream, Gwen?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Since I don't stream anything else from my PlayStation, it just makes sense to keep it logged in.
Yeah.
That way, Crazy there doesn't have to keep flopping back and forth.
Oh yeah, that's right. Sasquatch was the one that was doing it before, mostly. Yeah.
I figured even on nights where things start getting a little crazy and I can't fully participate, you know what? I'd make a great cameraman.
Sure.
It would work.
Oh man, I'm kind of tired.
I just had coffee, I'm good.
You know, coffee, I don't know. I think coffee, I might be one of those people coffee's having a reverse effect on these days. A lot of times I'll drink.
For me,
That's
energy drinks.
Yeah. I drank 2, or like a big, probably a 20 or 24 ounce tumbler full of coffee this morning. Like on the way to and through the early part of church service this morning, and was like struggling to stay awake.
For me, I think it's like a mental thing. And right now it's coffee. Coffee's the thing that helps, so that's what we do when we want to stay awake. It's coffee. I did great. I went like 3 days without energy drinks, and then I found an entire flat of the Elder Scrolls themed ones at a at the local supermarket.
Oh, so the ones with like the wolf mount stuff and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So do you just need 1 can to get that code?
Yeah.
Okay. And what drinks are they?
It's the Rockstar Fruit Punch.
I don't ever drink Rockstar.
That's fine. I got a code for you and Katie. I'm an addict, so at least I'm putting my addiction to good use.
I don't drink a ton of energy drinks anymore. When I do, I drink sugar-free Monsters.
That's kind of what I ended up switching over to like back in like last year, I think.
Yeah, the sugary energy drinks really, they don't do well for me. Crash hard on those things after a while, especially if I don't have food. My blood, it's like my blood sugar just crashes, and sometimes.
See, for me, it's my stomach doesn't like the red dye, but my taste buds love the rest of it, so we're good.
I'm just waiting to see if my kid is going to wake up in a moment or not, because he is coughing right now. He fell asleep in the car on the way home, so.
Okay. Alright, Jinx, are you gonna sit next to me?
Hold on, BRB.
Yeah, there's times at work we get busy enough that if I drink an energy drink right before like getting like crazy busy, I use a bunch of energy, and then I'll be in the middle of that and just start coming down off of it. And it's hard trying to cut a bunch of pizza real fast when everything in your body is saying, lay down, go to sleep right now, do it, hurry up, you're gonna fall on the floor if you don't do it. It's like, ugh. You get like shaky and weak. I don't like it. Don't like it. But I have read, like, some people say that after they stop using coffee, they actually have more energy. So it's like, should I try to wean myself off of that?
That's what I'm trying to stop. I will eventually.
Like wouldn't call myself an addict or anything. I think I just do it more just to have something to drink in the mornings on the way to work.
I did 3 days. I can do more. I swear.
Sure you
Maybe.
can. I believe in you.
Eventually.
Even though I've never actually met you, I believe in you.
Aww.
I can hear you speaking, so therefore, I have audible evidence of your existence.
The next time I can kick my family out of town, I'll do it. Nothing worse than being on child duty and having a migraine.
I don't get migraines, thankfully.
Oh, that happens, like, for me if I go a little over 12 hours without caffeine. Mostly a day. If I go for 24 hours, that's when it really starts killing me.
I get tension headaches sometimes. I'm not really sure what brings those on. Tension, I guess.
Okay, sorry, I'm back.
You're good.
Hopefully he's settled now for a little bit.
Are you sure? Okay.
Okay.
Oh my goodness, my cat is flipping out because of the raven. It's flying around, and he caught sight of it flying around, and he sees a bird on the screen, and he...
Amazing.
I am so grateful Jinx hasn't tried to go after these torch bugs yet.
I don't know that he's ever paid attention to anything else like that, but he was like legit, like stalking it.
That's adorable.
It's that's funny. I'll send you a picture. And mute my phone because I keep getting some notifications.
Oh my gosh. That's funny.
I love it.
Oh, look, there's a PS5 in that photo.
Yeah, look how big
Next
that thing
to
is
a
compared.
Switch.
Look how big it is compared to the Switch.
It's
Crazy.
PS5 is a beast.
Oh
It
my
really
gosh,
is.
what is my kid doing? My kid is turning sideways in his bed. Like sideways. Come on,
You
dude.
mean like long kid going short way on bed?
Yes.
Alright, are we ready to get this started, or do you need to double check on the child?
No, he's okay. I mean, if I have to step away, I'll just say I'll be back and mute. But did you check audio on YouTube at all?
I have not.
Well, I can, because it's up right now. Hold on.
Okay.
My
Did you-
phone
did you
has
find us by-
very low battery, so could someone watch the Twitch tonight to make sure it works?
I'll check that in a second, too.
So, did you find us by looking for our URL?
No, I have us, because I follow already, and I'm subbed. It popped up on my main page that we were live.
Got you. Cool. Gwen, talk. How you sound? Let's see how you sound.
Hello. Words.
Are
There's
the-
crows over there, and there's crow over here. And look at our jack-o'-lantern buddies on our extra chair.
My cat is still licking his lips at the bird. You crazy cat. It's not real.
I'm in the Snugpod.
Testing, testing, testing. Everything sounds good on both to me, but it's also via my phone, so.
Yeah, I haven't changed anything, so it
Yeah.
should be okay.
It looks fine. The only other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the Twitch from my laptop.
Ooh, that way, in case anyone's watching, you can like reply to them in the comments.
Yes.
I appreciate that.
Come
And hopefully my laptop doesn't take a poo because it's not plugged in, because I was too lazy to unplug it from the like my desk setup downstairs. I literally just grabbed the actual laptop and not the power or anything, so I've got the screen like turned all the way down.
Yeah, because someone was super struggling to get to bed. I didn't get a chance to get my phone on the charger until way too close to the show time.
I remember taking some flack for that. I can remember people, being like, "You need to charge your phone. You can get a charger. Your phone's always dead." Man.
Normally I have it charged beforehand and everything, or sometimes I'll leave it on the charger, but remember the last time I left it on the charger when I tried to get her to go sleep? I fell asleep, and my phone was out here, so I didn't hear my alarm. And then you guys ended up running with someone else, and I still haven't done that dungeon, and I didn't want to repeat.
Oh. Alright, well, I am ready whenever you all are ready.
Yes.
Okay. Pause for, what's the phrase?
Dramatic.
Effect. Pause for dramatic effect.
Yeah, we'll go with that. I think I might have been thinking of another phrase, but I might have been combining those two phrases. So, yeah, pause for dramatic effect. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our Snugpod. This is a Snugpod Cast. We are thoroughly creeped out. I am never separate. And I have with me on screen to the right, Gwen the Bard. What's up?
Hello. Well, where do we start?
At the beginning. It's a very good place to start.
At the beginning, I finally got my Olo Resto staff.
Nice.
After trying for years, we finally got it. So that's awesome.
Sweet.
And now I have a new goal.
What's your new goal?
The new goal is to get that final lead for the kilt from the ruins of Mazatun.
Nice.
That's the new goal.
You've ran that, like 4 times in the past week, right?
Oh my gosh, I've run it so many more times than that. Let's see, I ran 3 the other night, and then 1. Okay, yeah, never mind. Only 4.
I knew you ran it once with us, and I saw you did it 3 with some other folks.
Yeah, only 4. It feels like a lot more, but no, only 4.
Probably because we were going to do it last night.
There's another voice. Who was that?
Oh my god, I have returned!
In the Snugpod.
It's me, the dark, shadowy Nightblade, sitting in the corner beside Gwen's creepy decorations, but the conveniently placed sweet rolls, because I do love a good sweet roll.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't have sweet rolls today, but I did have some like pumpkin muffins with chocolate and some with white chocolate and cranberries. They're pretty good. My wife made those this morning, and yeah. Anyway, it's close to a sweet roll. It had icing on it too. Yeah.
Sure.
So the other voice is gone crazy back soon. What's up?
It's me. Nothing much. I'm happy to be here and not horrendously sick like I was last week. Oh, it was bad. I have not been that sick in a long time. Like, ill. Not like, oh, I have a cold. Like, must go to urgent care ill. So that was not the best, but I'm feeling much better now. And in-game, not had a lot of time for too much. I'm kind of sad because I missed most of the High Isle event because my actual real-life work schedule has just been absolutely, like, completely time consuming and exhausting since I got back from vacation. But I did have a chance to run with Gwen to try and get her kill lead, which we didn't do. And then last night we grouped up we were going to do Falkreath, but we couldn't really find anybody else to join, so we tried to run a random normal, which also resulted in us unfortunately abandoning those poor people because we ended up in Graven Deep, and I didn't want to run it without you, Never.
I felt so bad, but you need story mode.
Yeah, we wanted story mode. Well, what was funny is we got in there and I go, oh no, these people are going to want to run this fast. So Gwen's like, okay, I'll leave. And I said, let me tell them that I'm sorry. And as I'm typing in the group chat, like, hey, I'm sorry, we've been waiting to do this with a friend, it literally says, the quest has started. Would you like to join? And I was like, oh no, these people are doing story mode too. And then I felt really bad, but I just told them anyway, and they understood because then everybody left group. So I was like, oh.
And then we ran through the Wayrest sewers.
Yeah. So, but then, yeah, we were like, well, we can't queue again. What are we going to do? And Waywest was a pledge. So we went ahead and just did that, the two of us and our companions, which was hilarious because our companions kept pulling stuff when we were doing other stuff. And it was fun. We had a good time. Other than that, like a little bit of farming here and there, mostly for mats, and then mostly just trying to rake in whatever extra gold I can by either turning in quests or doing writs or any of that stuff. But a little bit of back-end guild management stuff as well, and other than that, not a whole heck of a lot.
Awesome. Gwen, you've been doing some redecorating.
I did. We're not done yet. I still need to add all the skulls. I ended up getting a cart full of skulls from one of my friends.
Nice. I'm just doing a little pan around if anyone's watching or wants to come and watch. My cat is going nuts looking at the screen. Yeah. I'm panning the view on the screen and it's changing where the bird is, and he is just fixated on this bird.
For our listeners, we are now in, it is, what's the month for Elder Scrolls Frostball? Yeah, Frostball. And so it is spooky season, and hopefully Witches Festival will be starting soon. High Elf event is over, so we have a Sithis statue in the background. Our Snugpod desks are some Deadlands desks. Our extra chair is currently being occupied by a couple jack-o'-lanterns. Peddler of Prizes is sitting on top of them, and then we also have the Duke of Crows trying to nab a sweet roll from in front of Crazy.
And I have a Scarecrow wanting to attack the Duke of Crows.
There's also cobwebs everywhere.
Yes.
And some nice lighting with the red torch box, which hopefully will be back again this year for the event.
Yep. You said that the High Isle event is over. Is the Explorer event over yet? Because we got like 8 days on that, right?
Tomorrow?
Okay.
Wait, maybe? I don't quite remember.
Let's see, it started the 11th and we had, 6 days?
I think it was 8 days. It was
8 days?
Then
Yeah,
No, it was only 6.
I thought it was for
it...
every 25%. You got 2 days.
It was but it started on the 11th.
So if every 25%, there's 4 of those in 100, so it'll be 8 if you got 2 days each. Unless my math is wrong.
I don't think we got 100%.
No, we didn't. We got 77%.
Really?
Yeah, so it was only 6 days.
Wow.
Well, you can't really complain because... Just saying.
What?
Because you were the one saying, well, my login rewards aren't so great this month. I've been a little behind.
I wasn't complaining, though. I was just surprised. I mean, normally we have all those goals met within, a few days. So,
yeah.
Just surprised that it didn't get hit.
Events, though. And they did
it.
It was another Chaos Ball weekend.
It was 6 days, because I just went back and looked. Yeah. It said until Monday, October 17th at 10 a.m. So Basically, until, for me, it's already the 17th, so I have until 10 a.m.
Or probably 6 a.m. because that's when the update hits.
Yep. And I'm just giving you a hard time, Never, just because
Yeah,
I
well,
haven't been able to play much either.
I'm just assuming that's when the update hits. That normally what happens when there's like, this event ends this day at 10 a.m.
Yeah.
But for some reason, there's an update at 6 a.m.
Yeah. Well, I think normally our patches come through on Tuesdays, right?
That's true.
Because normally
That's
a
true.
lot of events
Yeah.
end on Tuesday, so the patch will hit at like 4 on a Tuesday. But even so, you know.
well, now that we've covered what we have or have not done in game, shall we move on to new things?
The news.
The news.
Sure.
We need some we got to come up with some bumpers, and they can just be like us being like news, and it'd be really terrible. But
No.
then I have to figure
Oh,
out how
man.
to edit that stuff in, and it would sound even worse. And maybe we'll just say it during we'll just do live bumpers and.
Wait, no, I know what we'll do. You can just we gotta figure out which emotes make noise. And then we can, like, have one of us stand up and do that emote and, like, take a pause, and then it'll be like the bumper. Like, oh, the news, and then there's, like, a sparkle noise, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Mudball splat.
That's actually true. Yeah, the one that, the sparkle noise, you could use the flower crown one, the, like, psh, psh, and then for another one, we can use the mudball splat.
I throw more mudballs. I don't even think I have the flower crown emote.
I probably don't either, to be honest.
All right. Well,
Or, like, one of us can just go. Wait.
I'm gonna have to turn up dialogue volume.
Okay, there we go. I stood up and cheered. If anyone was watching.
I have my sound effects turned down still. So.
That's the way you're telling me. Is I said, "Here you go," and then there was just an awkward dead silence.
Yes.
Okay, well, never mind then. All right, cool. Moving on to the news.
Laugh, and that was about it.
That's funny. All right. So Brad Derrick was on ESO Live. Did you guys watch that?
I
It was
sure
hilarious.
did.
He talked about his criminal record.
He sure
Like
did.
Mozart tapes.
Stealing Mozart tapes. It was great.
Mozart.
Because they weren't locked up.
He's like, nobody wanted the classical tapes, so, down the pants they went. And I was like, what?
Oh god, I remember when
Was this like a college prank or something?
No, he was talking about when he was a kid because they were asking him, like, what's your inspiration or like what types of music do you listen to? And he was talking about how he has a very he jokingly said, like, well, all of it, which usually sounds like a cop-out answer, but actually I really do listen to pretty much everything. And then he like rambled off a bunch of things he listens to. But he was talking about how classical music affected him because when he was younger, he just loved classical. And like Gwen said, he would go to the store and he jokingly said that the classical tapes were the ones that weren't like locked up or behind anything because nobody wanted them. So he
I feel
wanted
bad
them.
that's probably the only thing anyone took away from that stream.
Well, I mean, I liked the digital music stuff, how he was talking about composing, but yeah, you're right. It was pretty funny.
That's totally what everyone took away from that stream.
That and about how he has like scary metal tattoos because people kept asking him about his sleeves and
his hound dogs. Oh,
saying that he was super like scary looking, but he's really nice.
Yeah, I hear
So,
that kind of thing from lots of really tatted people. That people see them and think that they're like, they probably spent time in prison. It's like, no, just really like tattoos.
Yeah.
No, it just means you have a lot of disposable income.
No, there's that too. Those things are definitely not cheap.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it was a good VOD. Like, I went back and watched it after the fact. I tried to have it on lurk with it while I was at work at one point on my phone, and the stream was so just laggy at the time that I went back.
They are ridiculously quick. Like I was doing some Explorers event, what was going on, and Twitch goes, hey, you got this crate to claim, and immediately pops up on my screen, Ouroboros crate, added inventory. What? That was fast. I remember when that used to not be that fast. That was great.
When it used to take like 48 hours before it would come through. Yeah, no, now if you claim it, it's like instantaneous.
Instantaneous. Absolutely instantaneous.
For sure. Something from the video that I thought was very cool was he was talking about kind of the differences between composing for a video game and composing for like a movie and whatnot. And he was saying that for video games, it has to be something that can be continuous, right? For a movie, it's like a set, 6 minutes or a set amount of time for a scene and it never changes. But in video games, because the actions change all the time, the game music itself has to almost be written into like shorter themes that can be combined in multiple orders or looped multiple ways. And he was saying that in ESO, there's like what they call, I wish I could remember what the name of it was, but it's basically like a middle software, for lack of better terms. And he puts the music into that, and then the game engine actually determines what music plays for the player based on multiple actions that happen. So like, if you're fast traveling from somewhere to a different zone, that particular system will say, oh, I want to play this music. But then if you're, in a town versus out somewhere else, it's going to choose a different theme, or it may loop something different in. Or then if you get in combat, it's going to loop certain music. And there's just all sorts of different things that I guess the game actually takes into account as to why it chooses what music it chooses. That's why sometimes I've told you before that when I listen to your recording, it's different than what I hear when I'm sitting in the Snugpod. Because the music that plays is dependent upon like where you come from, what you've been doing last, all of that stuff. So I think that's pretty cool that it's actually kind of a unique experience. But he also said that system is actually really great to compose in itself. So I guess he does compose the music sometimes digitally within that as well. He's so funny because he's a composer and a bit of a musician, but he said like he's a terrible piano player and he like doesn't really play guitar. Now, I don't know if that's him being humble. He said he was taking piano lessons. So I'm like, is that you being humble, or like, are you really just someone who can hear and visualize the music really well, but and can compose it, but have to have somebody else actually do an orchestration of it, or it's just kind of interesting to me. It was a really good video. So, I'm someone that grew up doing. I mean, I think we've talked about it. Both of you did as well growing up, right? Did you play instruments or like grow up?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
A little musically and musically inclined, I guess would be a good way of putting it.
I picked up playing guitar around 14, 15.
We're talking about besides the required recorder that everyone had to do, right?
Yes, besides the required recorder that every child has to learn how to play hot cross buns on.
Yeah, I didn't as a kid, but in high school I started playing guitar, so.
Oh, in high school is when I dropped off from stuff. I had to play piano when I was 6 because I was banging on my grandma's piano, and she's like, if you're going to be hitting it anyway, you might as well take lessons.
Amazing.
And then we did flute, and then we did violin, and then we did guitar, and then I did tenor sax right before I was entering high school, but I ended up just stopping that altogether because, like, short arms, giant instrument. I should have done alto sax, but no, tenor sax was the cool one. But anyway.
My husband played tenor and bari, so I think that's hilarious.
Okay.
Nice.
I was a trumpet player. I wanted to play drums, and my mom's like, no.
I did too, but we just didn't have space for him, so I got to use my grandpa's drums whenever we visited him, because my entire family was very musically inclined, so we had a lot of instruments.
Yeah, we did too. It'll be interesting to see if my son does anything, because my husband played like pretty much every woodwind instrument and guitar, and I played trumpet and piano growing up, so we have both sides.
I mean, I did play quite a bit of trumpet, but the trumpet that I played is generally frowned upon in company, so.
Anyway.
Moving
Cool.
on.
So yeah, that was it. Brad Derrick on ESO Live. Oh, also, just to clarify one other thing, he hasn't been nominated for a Grammy yet. He's nominated to be nominated.
Yeah, he stressed that because
Yeah,
we're all
he
talking
was-
like he's actually already won it, which
Yeah.
we'll be all very confused if he doesn't. Not that I even know who the competition is, but I know
Yeah.
we'll be very confused.
Well, and I guess this is the first year for this category, so I'm pretty excited about it.
So has anybody else, like in the creator space, said anything about him being nominated for a Grammy, or is that just us?
No, I'm not caught up on all my stuff.
Because here's what I'm thinking: if he gets nominated for the Grammy, then maybe it's because we foresaw it happening.
Oh, it's not because on ESO Live they told everybody to, support him and vote and.
But we
do
said
all
it.
those
We spoke it as if it was already a done deal.
Oh, well, I wasn't here last week, so.
I'm just saying. We announced it. We talked about it briefly, and we spoke about it like it was already done. So if it happens, perhaps it's we can see into the future.
Okay.
We're putting that wood
Your
elf
Sigik.
Khajiit
Stop touching
magic.
the skooma.
What?
Hey, Khajiit, stop touching the skooma.
Yeah, right? Who gave him
Your
moon
paws
sugar
off the
before the
moon
start of
sugar
the show?
cards.
I
Yeah.
mean, looks like you've got two different types of things here in front of me that I might have sampled. I don't know what's in the bottles, but you know, I can't be.
All right.
I can't be for what I say held responsible.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyway, yeah, very cool stuff. The music in game thing is definitely neat when you just consider the amount of work that would have to go into to doing that. It's pretty cool. I feel like I've heard that kind of discussed somewhere else too. With just might have been composers for Destiny, because Destiny's got some really good music too. But just the different things that can trigger the music to change in various ways, and it's all very cool stuff. And again, we've already spoke it, but we still just go ahead and, as a formality, say good luck on the nomination to be nominated, that you go on and get nominated, so then you can be nominated for the Grammy, and you can get the Grammy.
Yeah.
So yeah. So when we know more on that, I'm sure we'll discuss it here. And yeah. As far as some in-game news, we have some free stuff coming up on the 20th, right?
No, it's through the 20th.
That's what I said. Through the 20th.
Don't wait until the 20th. Do it before
Yeah.
then.
I said
wait
through the
until
20th,
the 20th.
clearly.
You could log on the 20th as long as it's before 10 a.m. and it would still work.
So is it live now then?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
It's now live through Thursday, October 20th at 10 a.m. and it's basically free ESO Plus.
Fill up those craft bags.
Yeah, get your craft bag. Farm.
Get your new crooks.
If you are like a pro at inventory management, like our good friend Lotus of Doom, and you only have ESO Plus when it's faux free, now is the time, because it will give you access to all the DLCs temporarily, as well as any stuff that you have in your inventory that could go in your craft bag. As soon as you log in, it goes bloop right into your craft bag. It also gives you a 10% increase to XP and gold, and doubles stuff in housing, and ability to dye costumes. It gives you all sorts of things. So definitely worth it. Definitely worth it to make sure that you log in if you don't have ESO Plus through right now, to be able to do that. But you do have to go into Crown Store and go to the free trial for it. Yeah, so it won't just be active automatically. You've got to actually click and download, the free trial.
Yeah. And anything that goes into your craft bag during that free period even if you don't subscribe, once it's in your craft bag, it will stay there.
Yes.
New things will not go in there. Your extra bank space, you don't lose items that are in the standard amount over that. But
Word to the wise. Check your settings on your craft bag while you have it, just to make sure that is where things are going. And if you want things to come from other places besides the craft bag first, make sure you have those settings where you need them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot that it does that.
Always double check on that. It can get pretty crazy if it's in the wrong spot.
Yeah.
Why do I have no inventory?
Do the costume dyes stay when your sub ends, or do they
I believe
reset?
so. You just can't re-dye.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, so if you decide you want to dye your Sheogorath outfit to be orange and black, it's going to be orange and black till next time you have ESO+.
Yep.
Cool. Yeah. So definitely good opportunity to. And they've done this fairly frequently recently, right? That we had a free trial not too long ago.
They've been doing them more frequently. Like, the more years have been going on, the more I've been seeing they've been doing them a lot throughout the year, which is nice.
Yeah, for sure. We only used to get them a couple times a year, and now I feel like it's like at least a couple times, you know, a quarter or something like that. Feels like we've had quite a few recently, like you said.
Yeah. That's good. It's a good way to check some stuff out for sure, because you do get basically everything but the current year, current chapter, right?
Mm-hmm.
I am right in that, right? All of the previous chapters roll into ESO Plus the following year.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
But not the DLCs. You still have to have. Oh well, you would, because they're live with ESO Plus. Yes, but you get what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yep. So if you are a base game only player, and you've pretty much done everything that you can do, and you're just like, well, I just keep running around and killing world bosses or running the same dungeons or whatever, drop that ESO Plus, and you're gonna see a whole bunch of stuff you didn't have access to. So go check that out. Do it. Once that ends on October 20th, we also have the return of a fan favorite, right? Several people really look forward to this event each year. It is the return of the Kitty Cat Bucket Fest. Is that right?
We're throwing him in a river.
Yeah.
You're throwing me in a river?
Yep.
What am I, a Tennessee goalpost?
Oh man.
I don't get that reference. No, you're a cat.
Oh, you don't. Well, Tennessee beat Alabama, and apparently they rushed the field and took the goalpost down and marched it to the river and threw it in the river. Don't ask. I don't really know what that's about.
We're feeding him to the crow.
You need to get control of your people up there in Tennessee.
You know, perhaps so. Okay.
But yeah.
So it's
Witches
not
Festival.
the Witches
Festival.
Yeah.
The Witches Festival. It starts later every year now, doesn't it?
I don't know. I'm not sure when it started last year.
Probably bounces around a little bit just based on what day starting event days land on.
I just always feel like the length of the Witches Festival and New Life are, and even Jester's Festival now, are so long. Like, it's great because it gives you the opportunity to have a lot of XP gain time, but man, October 20th through November 2nd, that's pretty long.
It'd be about 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, that's a long time.
Oh man, which event is it? Is it New Life? That has like any quest you do, the one where everybody farms all the crafting writs. Is that New Life? I feel like I get that wrong every time.
New Life is there. There's
That's the
a
Christmas
like a
one.
yeah.
Oh,
That's
are you
Like
talking about the winter writs?
no,
yeah.
no, 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 no. Just the one event that it doesn't matter what quest you do, you get rewards. So you just farm crafting writs on all your characters, and it gives you just tons of boxes. The fest,
Oh,
Oh, you're talking
w-
about Jubilee.
yeah, the Jubilee Festival.
yeah, that one. Was it that
That's
one
our
year that
that's our
lasted for like
anniversary.
6 weeks
Yes.
because something happened and they extended it?
Well, it got extended, but also what happened is every week they focused on something different. So like one week it was writ boxes, another week it was world bosses, another week it was, you know, whatever,
That makes
dungeons,
me wonder
another
what they're
week.
gonna do for the 10-year
Yeah, it
anniversary.
that was actually I think the first or the second year that they had the anniversary event. It might have been the fifth anniversary.
I
I
feel
don't
like
remember, but
I feel like there was one year that it was you could do anything because I just remember thinking I'm so tired of doing crafting writs because that's all I did for like weeks.
Zeal of Zenith, it was that event. It was that event.
Yeah,
But I think it was like 2 weeks of writs
yeah,
because you could do, it was like any quest one week and then, or, sorry, it was writs, like dungeons, dailies, and then it went back to anything the last week.
okay.
Like the last week was any of the things that you had done previously that they had focused on, now all were active. So that's why it felt like forever because you probably did the week that we were supposed to do writs and then you also did that last week you probably did writs.
Yeah, it's yeah. Anyway, I got off on that because you're talking about the length of the festivals, and I just remember there being one that it was like, gosh, this
Yeah.
thing's never gonna end.
Yeah, that year was like it just felt like we were oversaturated with events that year
Yeah.
because it was so long. But yeah, so Witches Fest is so nice because plunder skulls, XP gains, tickets, basically everything. And yeah, it's easy to get started. All you have to do is go and get the free quest, the Witch Mother's Bargain from the Crown Store. Or you can pick up the quest by speaking with the Crow Caller that is outside of the brewery in Stone Falls, Glenumbra, or or Aradon. It's 12:30 at night. I don't know what's happening. And then you get your like Witch Mother's Whistle, and once you've done it once, you don't have to do it again. So as long as you've done it on that character, you're all good. If you use the whistle, you get a 2-hour XP buff. And then, I disappeared because I didn't move my camera. Um, and you get the Witch Mother's Cauldron as well. So,
um,
You get to run around as a skeleton.
yeah,
yeah, but
and
you don't have to do that, which is nice.
right. Um, the whistle, I think you don't actually have to do on every character. I don't think you have to do the quest on every character because that is a uh, is that a memento or a tool?
It's a memento, yeah. So I
Um,
guess you're
The
right because it
quest
would be
is
account-wide, right?
character-based. The quest is character-based. So it's still the quest only counts per character, but you can still use the memento on characters who have not done the quest.
That's awesome.
right. So as far as getting your XP gains, once you've unlocked the whistle, you have access to that.
Right.
Because I use it on everyone. I'll just go through my characters and get a little tip if you have multiple characters, even if you don't play them that often. If you use the whistle and log off, you get like that time doesn't keep going, so you'll have that next time you log in. So even after the event ends, you still have the 2 hours worth of the XP buff. So just use your whistle last thing before the event ends. And you've got a full 2 hours, and you can do that on every one of your characters. And then you can continue to get bonus XP even after the events are done.
Yeah.
So
Also, important note, we have tools section now. Your Witch Mother's Whistle will be under your tools. Don't go paging through your mementos for like 50 times over, like I have every previous year.
I remember once they moved that, I was like, where did it go?
It's under tools. This is your friendly yearly PSA. Your Witch Mother's Whistle is under your tools. No, you
And-
are not going crazy. You don't need to do the quest again. If you've unlocked it already, go to your tools. It's not under your mementos anymore.
And you can hotkey it to one of your wheels now, because it's technically a tool.
Which you should do every year regardless. But yes, check your tools, not your mementos.
I think we should see how many more times we can say whistle. Whistle is a fun word to say. Say it.
Whistle?
Wasn't that fun?
No. Say which mother's whistle 5 times fast.
Which mother's whistle? Which mother's whistle? Which mother's whistle? Which mother's whistle? Which mother's whistle?
You almost
Mission
made
accomplished.
it. Oh, anyway,
Whistle.
loads of things that you can. Okay.
I was just gonna say it's one of those words. The more times you say it, the more silly it sounds. It's just sometimes words sound funny when you say them enough. I'm just sitting here listening to us talk about a whistle over and over again, and I thought whistle's a funny word. Carry on.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, I was gonna say you can get the normal like ghoulish goody things that are in there. You know, alchemy stuff, fragments for the witch-tamed bear dog, furnishings, provisioning things, treasure, hollowjack style, Dramora style, worms, and all of that stuff because that's gross and why not? Dramora stuff. And then, of course, there's all the different Glenmoral treasure maps and armors and Grave Dancer and, you know, Witches' Festival writs and whatnot. But something new, or 2 things that I should say that are new this year that you can get from the Dramora Plunder Skulls are either the Ghastly Visitation Memento Rune Box, wow, I can't talk, Rune Box, or you can get tradable style pages for the Witch Mother's Servant armor style. Pretty cool. So you can get these from bosses, which is basically arena bosses, invasion bosses, i.e. Dark Anchors, Harrow Storms, Vents, you know, delve bosses, final dungeon bosses, public dungeon bosses, and of course, world bosses. So lots of things that you can kill and get plunder skulls from, which is pretty cool.
Okay, that's going to be account based, right? So each time you do it,
yes,
per account, not per character.
I believe so.
Okay.
Well, I mean, you would get the plunder skulls on the character.
But I mean the special for the first, each.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, well, even better, each time you overcome a different type of boss for the first time that day, that part is going to be account based, not character based, right?
I believe so.
So no point in killing a world boss, logging into another character, killing a world boss, that kind of thing.
Yeah, that used to be the way things were.
Yeah. I don't know.
Don't do that anymore.
Don't do that no more.
Don't do it.
But that's just for the special box. You'll still get the regular ones.
Yes. Yeah.
The regular plunder skulls.
Yep.
Just not the Dramora plunder skull. Okay.
Right. The other thing too that is coming is because it's Q4, the Soulfire Dragon Illusion pet fragments. You can also get, I believe, the first fragment for the Hourglass of Alkosh, which is going to be the thing that allows you to change night to day in your homes, and it's called the Engraved Glass Blowing Tool. That's what I meant. Yeah.
You mean day to night. No one cares about making it daytime all the time. We want it to be night.
So you can get the first thing of that.
Did you see the video in the article?
No.
Yep, in the article there's a video of it. It's kind of just looks like it goes from one part of day to another part of day. It doesn't look like it's like completely dark.
Oh, I'll be sad. Well, it might also depend on the type of home.
Like, are you sure you weren't in Hercine's house getting that film? When it just goes to like dusk to twilight or something?
Yeah, it looks like it's in the Moon Sugar Meadow, maybe? No, maybe not.
Sure.
I don't know. Actually, I'm not sure where that is.
But you can play that, and it kind of just looks like it goes from like maybe dusk to dawn.
It's like a twilight, dusk to dawn.
Yeah.
That could be, but I have a feeling it's going to be what house it's in.
Yeah. Hopefully you can set it to night, because all your lights and stuff look cooler at night.
For sure.
But yeah, that definitely is. I'll finally get back to trying to get this stuff, because the last thing was like, I don't need a Power Ranger suit. I'm good. So I'm sitting on the tickets for getting that first one, and I already have all of the pieces to get the pet again. So,
Yeah. And
yep.
sadly, it looks like I missed out on my Indrik that I wanted again. The Mossheart one, I think those berries are gone again already. I didn't get to do much of the last event, so I couldn't catch up to purchase it, which sucks because I purchased one piece of it. Ah, wah,
That is
wah,
the
wah.
only Indrake I have.
But it looks like they're gonna have Snow Indrik, Crimson Indrik, Frostlight Indrik, and Rosethorn Indrik right now. So hopefully it'll cycle back around.
It will probably be a continuous thing, I'm guessing.
Yeah. So we'll see. But yeah, if you want to get all the like nitty gritty details, I would say go and read the actual article because we just kind of skimmed over everything. But
Yeah.
it's definitely it's a great event. This is one of the events that when it was so long that a couple years ago I leveled my entire PC character to 50 in the event. I mean, granted, I was at work doing it on breaks, so I had a lot of extra time. But I've leveled a couple characters with the XP buff through this and new life and stuff, which has been great. So
Yeah. If you are looking to level new characters, we don't generally recommend power leveling if you're new, but if that is a direction that you want to go, or if you are familiar, maybe you're making a second of the same class you already have, something like that. There are some videos out there on how to really maximize events like this. All of the different ways. I watched one earlier, and I don't think he even included everything because he didn't include the set that the Heartland Conqueror set, I think it is, that gives you double trait on your weapons, or double effectiveness. So you can get something like up to 360 or 70 something percent XP buff if you do everything, and then go find the right spots to farm. And one good way to get a bunch of XP all at one time is just run random daily normal dungeons and the random battlegrounds. For those, the battlegrounds are a little trickier because you actually have to be in the first or second place team to get it. But as long as you finish in the top two teams of three, then you get that huge chunk of XP with all of that XP buff on there. Makes a huge difference. But yeah.
yeah, for sure. I actually leveled mine. I did, people will run Alakir for dolmens. I did Stonefalls because it's very easy and close to travel. And those ones pop so fast. So yeah, Stonefalls was pretty easy to do a dolmen grind if I wanted to.
Alakir pops so fast, but there's so many people doing it that if you aren't on the ball, it'll be dead before you get there.
That's
Not
why
even that,
That's why Stonefalls was nice. You can literally just stand at the same one.
But if you want goodies, you gotta be one of the people who's getting the most hits in.
Yeah, is it like top 12 or something like that?
Top 12.
That's hard when there's an event going on.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, there's literally like probably 50 plus people just farming those things, and yeah, it's pretty wild. But yeah, there's other ways to do it too. There's areas that you can just go out on your own and just pull hordes of small mobs together, and but yeah, it's not hard to level characters during events like this. So go check out some of those videos. They've got lots of tips on it. Hack put out one recently, Hack the Minotaur, and you can find places that'll show you, find videos that show you grind spots and things like that. It's not the most fun way to play, at least in my opinion. It gets very, very tedious. But if you are chasing the goal of getting a new character up really quick, now is gonna, or well, not now, but when this event starts, it's gonna be a good time to do it. I think, I'm not sure, does this other thing count as news, or is it more just community?
Community news!
Yeah. Yeah.
And for community news, so
Whoop,
there
whoop.
is. Remember when I said I was going to make those Tales of Tribute cards? We're still working on that.
They're so good. They're
We're
so
still working
good.
on that.
Everybody go to Gwen's Twitter and like her tribute cards that she posted because they're so good.
It's a work in progress.
Have you
It's
done
fun.
more since you sent like 5 of them, I think, to us?
I sent you 3,
3.
and yes and no. The entire deck is fleshed out now. Instead of just going through and making one card each individually, I decided to create all of the cards. So they all exist. They're all cut out. They're all stained. They're all watercolored. Now I just need to put all the designs on them.
I want the Snugpod card. It's
Yes.
so cool.
Yes.
It's so cool.
So
So
that's where we're at on there. But there are a bunch of other creators who have been doing the hashtag PS October, and I've been following this on Twitter and looking at a bunch of these, and so I put together a list of some of the creators that I've seen. These are creators who've done some cool things with the prompts through a variety of mediums, and I swear not every single one of them are crows, though and I wish I could call out every single crow entry, but we don't have time for that. So, a couple, we'll go, I added 6 to this list. So our first one is Fechner Art. They've been doing watercolor paintings for each prompt. Initially I did notice them because of their crow one. And it was a nice watercolor, but they've been doing them for every prompt, and they are doing watercolor things, and they are very nice illustrations. Then there's Beta Guar. They have a Guar account. They are a Guar themed Twitter account. Okay, so for this month, they have been doing every single theme, but including Guar. And so far, my favorite of theirs has been the giant sea monster Guar, which I would recommend looking at. It's hilarious. I'm a sucker for sea monsters, so you have the typical, like, you'd have the Kraken under the water, but it's a giant Guar, and then a little ship. It's great.
Amazing. It sounds like Arcaneer's worst nightmare.
And they have quite the range of Guar, and they're all great. And then Agent Celery did a Nocturnal cosplay, which I thought was absolutely amazing. They clearly got it done in time for a convention. The photo they posted is them at a convention. And as someone who does do cosplay and sewing, I kind of zoomed in to look at the stitching and stuff because that's what I do, right? And their stitching on all of the curves and stuff was done great. And stitching curves is hard. So that was awesome. And Nevara is a German illustrator who's been creating some absolutely gorgeous elf paintings for each prompt. I think they've been doing it digitally. They don't like post which medium they use, but they look like the nice, cool, old, fancy, like 70s paintings, but they're all elves. They're all different elves in different ways. Their chaos one has been my favorite so far. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's just this elf with fire, and she's ready to mess something up. It's great. And then we have Zuna SW, who has been doing digitally sculpting each prompt. They've done a fawn, the Wraith of Crows, one of the sea puppies from High Isle, the ones that are like swimming out there like dolphins with the skulls and stuff. They did one of those, and they're remarkable to look at. Just digitally sculpting anything, that takes so much time, and they all look so great. Then, lastly on our list, yes, it's a crow. Tree Manifesto created a Tales of Tribute crow token as a necklace, and they sculpted it out of silver. It's when you play Tales of Tribute, there's the little tokens. They actually sculpted the little crow one, and it's awesome. That blew my mind. That was great. And yeah, those are the 6 I put together.
Very cool. I'm actually looking up some of these now because I have been following that hashtag as well, but I just feel like I haven't had time to really go and look at them. the the Guar sea monster one is awesome.
Isn't it great?
Like super cool. Super, super cool. And I saw one of the watercolor ones that you responded on, which is awesome too.
And we're only still about halfway through the month. I mean, we're getting closer towards the end of the month, but there's a lot more time left to go. So follow the hashtag, look at all the cool, awesome things our wonderful Elder Scrolls ESO fam is creating. Everyone's just so creative.
So good. So, so good.
Yeah, I expect a Snugpod card. Just saying. that needs to be done. That's my favorite.
At the very least, we just need to be able to put it on, like, I don't know, a mouse pad or a t-shirt or something.
Yeah. I am sending the commission. The goal to be in your mail soon. No, very, very good work. Yeah, that's cool. How long is this running again? Just through all of October?
Yeah, through all the month.
Yeah, I'm looking at some of these now too. There's definitely some cool stuff in there.
Yeah, follow the hashtag. I found all these guys by just looking at the hashtag.
How people can do some of this stuff as quickly as they do is impressive.
That's what absolutely blows my mind. I always struggle with the October prompts just because setting aside time every day is hard to do stuff. I am determined to finish this deck though. I have everything lined out, so we'll see where it goes, and I promise I will show you guys when it's complete.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Woohoo!
All right, so announcements. Announcements is next.
Are you sure?
Announcements is next. We're doing lore after announcements tonight.
All right. So some guild announcements, as per usual. Still doing some fishing on Mondays with Moki. What are we calling that again, Gwen?
Master Angler Mondays with Moki.
There we go. That's a mouthful. So come on and join on Mondays and give those fish a mouthful of fish bait and catch some.
You're gonna have so much worms for the witches festival.
Yeah.
You may as well.
Yeah, for
worms
sure.
Worms and crawlers and all that other stuff. That's when I always stock up on fishing stuff.
Worms is the hard one to keep on hand. There's so many saltwater fish. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. So yeah, come if you're in the guild and you want to join for some fishing and occasionally some other shenanigans too. Then jump in. We really need to. We should put the time in here so that I can remember that if I'm reading it. It's 7:30 is the starting group, and then is that right? And then starting at 8:00 is the goal to actually head out.
Yep.
Okay, and that's Eastern time.
Yep. Okay. And the other thing too is like all you have to do is just go up into chat and put an X in chat or whatever, and they'll group with you.
Yep. Yeah. No requirements. Just come hang out and have fun.
Yep.
So Treacherous Tuesdays. On Tuesdays, if you are available and want to run some dungeons, that's kind of our official dungeon day for just whatever purpose you have. You know, if you're wanting to do story mode or speed runs or achievement hunting or gear farming, any of that stuff, we kind of designate Tuesday as our dungeon day of the week. Not that you can't do them any day, but we sort of put some emphasis on it on Tuesdays. So get into Discord or InGame either way, and just let people know that you're looking for a group, what dungeon you want to run, how you want to run it, and try to get some people together to get those things done. We've got trials going on Wednesdays. Katie, you want to talk
Sure.
about that?
Sure. We have trials on Wednesdays. Right now, it's just normal every Wednesdays, but at least once a month, they are working on doing vet runs over in Craglorn. I think the next vet run will be in November sometime, right, Gwen? If I'm correct.
Yes, we're doing them once a
Yeah.
month, so it would be November.
Yeah. This week, though, the roster is currently up already, and usually by the time we publish, it's usually the evening of when the show comes out. But this week, it's going to be normal Mauve Lorcage, I believe, followed by normal Halls of Fabrication. So I know he's also been talking about, I think, just from like a dungeon perspective, because he loves to help people in dungeons too, doing some stuff in. Oh my gosh, why can't I say it? Lair of Marsalok. That's what I was looking for. But yeah, in terms of the actual trials right now, normal Maul and then normal Hoff and Maul. So there you go. And that is, by the way, at I believe 9 p.m. Eastern.
You know those abbreviations are they're very very confusing to new players or players
Well,
that don't engage with. Even if you're not new, I can remember for the longest time seeing people typing in chat looking for 3 DPS for in-mall. I'm like, what?
yeah, it'll literally say like LFG GR 1 DPS NMOL. And you're like, what?
Yep.
You're
Yep.
like,
Those
what?
one of those new texting phrases all the kids are using.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but that's part of the reason too, since we're working towards getting trials going again, I've been kind of intentional when I make the rosters at putting the abbreviations in, so that people can get used to seeing them too
Yeah,
if you're
for
new at
sure.
trials or whatnot, because you never know, you might want to join a pickup group at some point, and it's nice to be able to quickly, read what people are putting in the chat. So,
Yep. Yeah, knowing the lingo helps for sure. Yeah. And Gwen, you said that was where you got your resto staff from, right? Was running the trial.
It was.
Yep. So
boop,
a
boop.
lot of good trial gear out there. So if you're looking to, if you're trying to work on your build and you've got gear that you're looking for that comes from a trial, this is the time to do it. Normal runs get you the get you the regular versions of the gear. You have to run vet for perfected. That's what it's called, right? Perfected.
Just slightly fancier.
Yeah, it just has like one little added bonus that in some cases it's useful, but it's not necessary. And getting all the normal gear might increase your chances of getting the vet stuff too. So yeah, come join if you're looking for some trials fun. We're having it, so come join up. And
Yeah, we are.
as far as getting trials going, the more people we have in the guild, then we're always down for more folks. We've got plenty of room in the guild right now. So if you're looking for a guild, we'll tell you a little more about how to join, but in a little bit. But definitely come check us out. And last thing, if you've got any ideas for events, holiday events, things like that you'd like to see done, shoot those our way. And if you're interested in leading an event, as always, we want to put people in place to do things that maybe we don't have the time to do, or the expertise in, knowledge of, whatever. There's so many different aspects of this game to get into, and if you see an area where you have an interest in something, there's probably a pretty good chance that other people do too, and that maybe they're just looking for somebody to kind of host and take charge. So if you have something in mind that you'd like to do, shoot us a message through one of our Communication channels, again, we'll touch on in a bit, and we'll see what we can get done on that. I think that's all for announcements. We actually have some lore tonight that Gwen's put together for us. Lore.
All right, guys.
That's our new
The USP
unofficial.
is amazing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start with that. The USP is amazing, but you know what I like hearing? I like hearing lovely stories. I like hearing all the information given to me in a nice, wonderful book format instead of reading off a list. So what we're doing tonight, I put together. My character went on a little journey through Tamriel, reminiscing with some of her friends from the past of all the different witches' festivals and different things that have been incorporated over the years and added in. So what I'm about to read to you is her journey. So having not traveled to Tamriel until she set foot in Seyda-Neen, Jacqueline reached out to her friends for more information about the witches' festivals and their favorite traditions. First, ventured to Marbrook to catch up with old questing buddy Serana. She's a werewolf who works for the Dark Brotherhood and wears her hollow jack year-round, so she seems like a good place to start. The earliest I remember celebrating, as we do now, was actually the year before you arrived. Celebrating was much more simple back then. Traditionally, we would head to Orden and Volkogard, destroy some anchors, bash in some Thalmor heads, and get plunder skulls. Seemed kinda silly, earning children's treats, but then that's how I got my favorite armor, my holojack, as you can tell. Next, I ventured to Somerset, where, though as Frostball, still seems summery as ever, to speak to Cthulhu, Serana's wife. Anything about the past fashion, the crafty decorating-focused orc was the one to speak to. I prompted the same question. Well, the year you appeared was the year I retired. Crafting became my calling. With all these adventurers getting their houses and furnishings, that was the best part of that year. The Daedric thrones. By Hercene, we put them everywhere. Now they seem god-awful with all of our advancements we have now had. But Serana still has one. She uses a Serapha's chair. Oh, and all the skulls. Told her we weren't allowed to have more than 10 in the house. Which would explain all the skulls I now have to place in the Snugpod, I thought to myself. Year after that, someone thought it was a good idea to bring over Indrakes from Somerset. There were magic deer running everywhere for the year after, but you remember that. Next I went to High Isle to speak with Serana's little sister. She's a necromancer, but she's always loved the holidays. The treats were the best part. The year I started to adventuring, you could earn the title Witch for completing 28 writs. It was great. It was all food-based. I'm looking forward to the sweets, piped in Isabel, the young knight from High Isle. The latest edition, I didn't need to interview anyone for, as I completed it myself. Plucking the crow. We had to defeat horrible wraith of crows every day during the last festival. Thankfully, the Snugpod crew was there to back me up. Do you have any favorite Witches' Festival memories? Listeners, if you have any favorite Witches' Festival memory, let us know. Tell us about your favorite Witches' Festival memory. You can email us at snugpodcast@gmail.com. Reach out to us on Twitter @snugpodcast. And you can let us know about your favorite Witches' Festival memories.
Nice.
Very good. Even worked in our social media info in there.
Yeah, that's why we did it
Well
last.
done.
I got smart.
Well done, Gwen. Well done.
Very good. We need lore more often. It's just so hard to get stuff together.
Isn't it nice hearing a story? It just feels so much better.
It is.
I mean,
It is.
I am partial, but
So, for people who didn't catch the prompts, we started with, because my warden, of course, wardens came out with Morrowind, so we started there. So we talked about 2016 when we first had the Witches' Festival and Plunder Skulls. Then we moved into when we started getting housing the next year, and then the Indrakes. Nothing against the Indrakes. And then we decided to go talk to the Necromancer, which came out in Elsewhere, so that gives you an idea of where to look for learning about the witch's title and stuff. And I figured it was a nice way to prompt in how things were added throughout the years without saying the years.
Yeah.
Now,
for
if you
sure.
like that, I'll try to make more stories like that for events and stuff in the future.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I like that. It was good.
There we
Mhm.
go.
It was great.
Yeah.
All right, where else can they reach us, Never?
Well, you did Twitter and you did email. So, if as far as just getting our content, if you're watching right now on twitch.tv/snugpodcast, you also have the option of going to YouTube and searching for Snug Podcast, and haven't checked what we have yet or if it's live or whatever, but apparently we now no longer need 100 subscribers. So now we just want all millions of you to subscribe. Yeah, so we'll get an actual URL that we can give you, but until we can post that, make that official, then you can still just search for Snug Podcast. YouTube, Twitch, you can watch us there. If you prefer to watch, if you want to listen, then just choose your favorite podcast app, and you should be able to find us just by searching for a Snug Podcast there as well. Spotify, Apple, Google, Stitcher, some websites that do podcasts. There's several that I know for sure can find us. I think about any of them will pull the feed, but yeah, so hit us up if you've got any comments or feedback or stories from events and suggestions for events for us to do with the guild or any of that kind of stuff you want to reach out to us with, then you can definitely do that. And if you are looking for a guild and you would like to join up with us, we are on every platform. PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. PC has NA/EU fairly active. Well, active for sure on NA. I think
I was going to say very, very active is actually what I would say.
The EU I wasn't as sure about, but I think they're pretty active too.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. EU on consoles, I think, is kind of quiet. I know PlayStation is pretty quiet. Looking for dedicated leadership there, and I think we are for Xbox as well. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know about Xbox, but definitely probably PlayStation. Hopefully we'll be having a guild-wide meeting sometime soon, so we'll have a little more information about that.
Yeah. So the guilds are there. They're just kind of dormant at the moment, looking for leadership to kind of get those going. If that's something you're interested in, you're on the EU servers, again, you can hit us up in the ways that we mentioned before. But if you want to join the guild, it's a little short process. Crazy, would you like to tell them what to do there?
Sure. They can visit loreseekers.club. You can go to the ESO community that's linked through there. From there, it'll have you download Discord. And then once you've downloaded Discord, you can go in the Apply to Guild channel, and it will allow you to type /apply, and then you just hit space, and then the next word that you would type is membership. Sometimes that confuses people a little bit when they first get in there. From there, it'll send you a quick application via your direct messages, and you fill it out, get it to us, and then hopefully, usually what I'll say, as long as nobody's crazy busy, within 24 to 48 hours, we look at the approval stuff and then get you an invite in game whenever there's an officer available online on the platform of your choice. So it's a pretty streamlined thing, and we're pretty good at getting it done fairly quickly. So if you're interested in that, come join us. Even if you're a new player, if you are nervous about grouping, if you just want moral support but don't necessarily need to be in chat or want to group with people, we are still here for you. So whatever your needs are, hopefully we can help out with that. So
Yep. And now speaking specifically for PlayStation, now we've got one area that we were lacking for a while with the trial stuff, we've got that going now too. So, um, yep, definitely.
You could say it was a trial getting that together.
Yeah, yeah. We had trial leadership in the past, and but it just kind of faded over time, and but now things seem to be pretty
trialing time.
Yeah, things seem to be going pretty good. So come check us out, and I think I'm pretty well done. I don't really have much else to add tonight. Ladies, how about you?
Nope, just happy to be back. Hopefully, I don't have some other terrible RNG.
Stay well and avoid natural disasters. Don't
Yeah.
keep those things away. Yeah, that way everybody.
It's been a month.
Yeah.
October. Stay spooky. Do spooky art. Have fun.
Do Tessotober.
Definitely. Well, all right. If that is all for tonight, then we will close out and we will see everyone next time. Or maybe I should say we will be seen by everyone who actually watches next time. Or heard, whatevs. But until next week, have a good week this week, and be your very best self, and we will catch you next time.
Bye.
Whistle.
Whistle.